I've been looking at the crypto run up as of late and have said, well, when do I get in? I have seen that text many times from people within my friend group, from people who have no idea about Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these other cryptocurrencies, right? So, during our last episode, I had made a prediction that by the end of 2020 into 2021, we would see not only Bitcoin hitting 30K, but us surpassing that value. But what exactly does that mean? Right now, Bitcoin is sitting around 35,000 per coin. And then on top of that, too, we had predicted that Ethereum was bound to make a breakout. And right now, if you guys are watching this episode, Ethereum is approaching its all-time high. Just last year, if you were looking at the end of December, it was barely 50%. Now it's almost about to touch that exact value of about 1,500 for Ethereum's all-time high. So the question may be is, am I missing out? The reality is, no, you're not. And that's the thing you have to understand about the crypto industry is that it's so young that if you're worried about when you want to get into the market or even trying to time it, timing the market is the worst thing you can do. First of all, think about it like this, right? If you are only putting in a couple of $100 into either, let's say, let's focus with Bitcoin especially, right? Because it's a far more history behind it, has a lot more user. Its network is what really provides its stability as an asset. Is what a lot of people are turning towards during this time of hyperinflation and government intervention. So with this going on right now, if you guys are wondering, oh well, I only have $200-300 to put into Bitcoin, should I wait for it to drop? When's the perfect time for it to drop? Do you guys expect it to drop? Right? When people sent me those kind of messages, that to me says you're not really understanding what the overall value of Bitcoin is, right? Because Bitcoin is a play for the long run. It's not something that you just simply put money into and then 2 months later you want to pull it out. If that's the case, then you have a trader mentality. Trader mentality with Bitcoin is really only good for people who have the bandwidth to do so. Trading is something that I stay completely away from, especially with cryptocurrencies. And personally, for me, I'm a big believer in what's known as HODL, right? So if you guys are familiar with Bitcoin, and those of you who are not, no worries. HODL is simply just a meme that was created by the Bitcoin community because it's essentially just referring to holding on to Bitcoin for the long run, right? So to understand where Bitcoin can be 5 to 10 years from now, you have to understand that Bitcoin's scarcity is what's driving its value. On top of that, it's hedged towards this hyperinflation period where a lot more government stimulus is coming out, is why people want to put their assets into Bitcoin. Essentially, what's happening now is these couple of $100 up and down swings that you may be seeing, a few $1,000 swings, is very, very typical of any market, right? And especially when you're looking at Bitcoin, if you guys are worried about a 30 to 40% pullback, then that's exactly what Bitcoin will do. It's just how the market is, right? There'll be times where people are very bullish. There'll be times where people are bearish. It's all dependent upon the overall ecosystem. Bitcoin right now is at a point where it's sitting at around 35,000. If the market drops down to 30,000 and you're trying to wait for it to hit that point, you're not really playing the long game, right? Bitcoin is inevitably going to hit a six-figure point. I'm not going to say what my price analysis is. You can go ahead and check that out. There's a lot of links. You can check out Goldman Sachs. You can check out JP Morgan, which is one of my favorites because if you guys know JP Morgan, their CEO is very much outspoken about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and all these things like that. But over the past few years, it seems like his company has become the evangelist for modern banking systems. With that being said, don't wait for a few $1,000 swings. Don't wait for a few $100 swings because in the end, if you're looking at Bitcoin as an investment, not a trade, it's going to increase over time because as it becomes more scarce, as more of the coin, more of the circulating supply of that 21 million is taken up, more and more people will want to get their hands on what's left because eventually what's going to happen, and this is something that I just read this morning, is a lot more institutional family offices are coming into the market, the Bitcoin market, and buying and forgetting, right? So that doesn't mean what they are doing is buying it and just saying, oh, I don't care about Bitcoin. They are buying it and literally saying, I know what I'm going to do with this asset. I want it for the long run. I'm never going to think about it because I know what its value will be down the line. And that's the exact mentality that you want to have when you're purchasing Bitcoin.